Why you are the better with the one that more alive? None of you get shot. Why you are the better? What is the reason for that? Rap, none of you get shot. Why you are the better with the one that more alive?
Okay. The Empress herself, Miss Divine.
Yeah, Soul Kitchen.
What's going on?
We now want more of that.
Hey, I love that song, eh?
Give thanks.
You know, I've been chasing that song for like, I don't know how long. I love it, man.
Thank you so much.
When did you do that song?
I did that song probably maybe about 4 years ago now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I could have the song
about 3-4 years ago.
Holy moly! Where'd you produce that one?
That is actually a Inama Yard production still. So Demolition Man is the one that produced that song from England, and yeah. And when I heard that rhythm, I was like, nah, that song, that rhythm, it just touched me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rhythms that you can speak to, and that was definitely one for me. And the message, like, you know, sometimes when you hear like a rhythm, it's like you know what type of message you want to give on that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that was that type of vibe.
The message. I love the message.
Thank you.
You just kind of like address everybody in the world with it one time. You know what I mean?
For sure.
That's fantastic.
And it was really addressing Toronto, because at that time there were so many killings that were going on in Toronto, so many things happening, like in Jane and Finch and
yeah, you sent them all to Hamilton.
Malvern.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. You fixed Toronto, right? So you're gonna have to come this way a little more, because Hamilton's out of control now. So
true.
If you could just write a Hamilton song for us, that would be great. Thank you very much. Friday, good for you.
Friday's good.
Friday's good. Fantastic.
Friday works for me.
All right, this is Legal Tender, Empress Divine, writing for Hamilton now. So,
yeah.
I'm reading that you got going when you were about 8 years old.
Yes, I did.
Tell me how that sparked.
Well, you know, growing up, you know, when I was 8 years old, I always had a love for music. You know what I mean? And coming from a family that loved music, it wasn't hard to get into. I mean, you know, my father, he used to play music. He didn't really play sound, but he loved to collect vinyl, and he had his turntables. So I was always,
lover.
yeah, he was a music lover. He wasn't a sound man, but he was a music lover. You know, till this day, I still have, you know, his vinyl that he used to collect, you know, back in that time.
Really?
Like 50 years ago.
Wow,
Yeah.
Lock that down for sure. That's amazing.
Sure.
He's probably got some real vintage kind of.
Yeah, he has, and it wasn't just reggae music. It was just all different types of genres of music that he was collecting. So, you know, from a young age, like I said, 8 years old, I've been listening to different types of music and just appreciating music for what it is. And
that's good. And you know, explaining that about your dad too, you notice like some of the original people who loved music back in the beginning of reggae, you'll notice if you go to the originators,
yeah.
I'm no Empress Divine. So if you go to the originators of like sound, you'll notice that they have multiples in their collection, from like, you know, Costello to like Elvis to all these different kind of, you know, like a lot of soul music, all these things, instead of like more selectors now are just going for, you know, just the reggae, but they're not understanding where, let's say, the reggae kind of comes through, where there's a lot of soul and ska in there and everything, right?
Most definitely.
So one of the things I like about your music is that you intertwine it. You're not just like this dancehall female artist.
No, I'm not.
You have a voice.
Yes.
Right? So when did you come across that you had a voice? When did you realize that, what I like to ask a lot is, when did you sense that spark that, you know, everybody kind of like to sing along, or everyone usually says church, right? Or
well, that's true. It was from church. So, you know, growing up, I used to go to a church, and I used to be a part of the choir.
Okay.
So yeah, so I did recognize my voice from church, and, you know, singing in the choir, you know, every Sunday, you know, that type of vibe. And also just like from going to school and singing amongst my peers and my, you know, my friends. And I used to perform at assemblies, you know, and, you know, that's really where my encouragement came from, because, you know, a lot of people heard my talent and they're like, you know what, like, yo, you should sing, man. You have a great voice, man. You should sing. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you. I think I do too. And that's just really how it all started.
It's true though. I remember, I think one of the first times we talked was at Nadine Sutherland's show, when you went up there, the Reggae Divas.
Yes.
I think that was one of the first times we actually talked.
Sure.
right? Like we've talked before then, but that when you went up on stage, I got to tell you that I remember somebody be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Hold on," because I was just when you were singing, you have a strong voice.
Thank you.
So what point did you decide that you wanted to integrate that with DJing as a vocal DJing?
At what point? Growing up in a Jamaican family, we've been listening to reggae music all of our years. And like I said, like listening to soul music, reggae music, ska. It honestly wasn't hard. Like I have so many different people that inspired me to want to sing like that. Bob Marley, soulfully like Aretha Franklin, Lauryn Hill.
Yes.
A lot of the times, like growing up listening to Lauryn Hill, she really inspired me to sing the way I sing right now.
Love Lauryn.
Yeah, I love Lauryn Hill as well.
Incredible.
Yeah, so, and just hearing like, Buju Banton DJ, Sizzla Kalonji, like those are one of my inspirations growing up, and I used to mimic them and, sing in the shower and want to sound like Buju or Sizzla.
Yes.
And, even Queen Ifrica, listening to her as well. Like, by the time Queen Ifrica came out, I was already DJing.
Right.
But she's also an inspiration to I and I as well. You know what I mean? Even Queen Omega from Trinidad, definitely inspiration, musically for I as well.
Wow. Well, I've seen you. One of the other things I really like about you is that you seem to have a very comfortable grasp about it, right? So although I've seen you on stage do live performances in front of many, many people, and you're very comfortable up there, I've seen you in situations where there's like 100 people huddled around the DJ booth, and I've seen you snatch that mic and still just kill it, and you got hyper with it and everything.
Yeah, because you have to make them know, say, yo, just because I'm a female doesn't mean I can't do it like you too, because this is a male-dominated industry.
Yes.
And a lot of the times when you're in that type of, that, like if you're in a dance, a lot of the men are there grabbing the mic, they're not passing it to the female, really. They're just going amongst themselves. So more times you have to show them, say, yo, I can attack it too.
I've seen that
I can do it even better than you. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've seen that a lot. I've seen that a lot where, after the men have their turn and everyone's gone through, then they'll let the girl kind of try to get something quick in before the DJ starts playing a tune or something,
Exactly.
And it's like the women are some of the strongest points in reggae these days.
That's true.
So how do you feel that right now in 2018 that the females are being respected? Do you think we're making progress, or are we still struggling?
I definitely think that we're making progress. I definitely think that we're making progress. And, hats off to all the queens of reggae that are making a name for the rest of us to make it easier for us to come up and do what we're doing. Like I see a lot of people like Itana, she's doing great. You know what I mean? Queen Ifrica, like I said before, Queen Omega. That's just like cultural to have, other people, like Itana, and you have, many other, different artists that are paving the way for, for young females to make that rise, like Shensia, Spice.
Shensia's trouble. She's trouble. Don't go that route. She's trouble.
So we have to big them all up still.
That's good. So, you're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm seeing women, especially in Toronto, right? Especially in Toronto, really making a huge impact.
Most definitely. I want to big up Tasha T. She's definitely making a huge impact, and just seeing from where she's coming from, it's a blessing. I'm glad for her, because a lot of people might not know, but when I was probably about 22, I used to sing. My first reggae performance was with Tasha T.
Okay.
And I was singing backup for her. So I started off as a background vocalist, right? And I was singing with Tasha T. And my first show that I actually did with her was Morgan Heritage, and this time I didn't even have lots.
That was your first?
That was my first performance. Was Morgan Heritage.
Poor thing, you.
No way. Started off small.
Yeah,
rough times. Rough times, man. Rough times.
Rough times, rough ringings. So, now, definitely in our circles. Pardon me. There you go. Live.
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, man.
Anyways.
You need water?
So, I got it.
All right.
So, in our circles, a lot of people in our circles are also attached to their religion and their faith and what have you, right?
For sure.
So, I definitely see your devotion in that sense. So, how do you feel that you think it enhances or hinders your progress as an artist with carrying your faith with it?
Oh, it enhances it, because without the Most High, I'm nothing. You know, like, I'm just a vessel of the Most High doing the works that He has, you know, brought me here to do. So without God, there wouldn't be no me. So, you know.
How are you seeing yourself welcomed by, let's say, venues, public, and everything with it? Do you feel that there's any stigmata that comes along with it, or do you feel that
No,
we're
'cause
accepting up here?
I believe we are accepting. I believe you mean in Toronto based?
Yeah, Toronto.
Yeah, I
Toronto
believe
based.
definitely. I believe that we're definitely accepting up here for sure. I performed in many different arenas in Toronto. You know, Indian Motorcycle. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I used to DJ. I used to select music there. They're very receptive, you know, to the
Okay.
Rastafari culture. A lot of people love reggae, dancehall. You know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter where you're coming from, and because Rastafari is such a universal. It's universal, so many people can gravitate to it. You know what I mean? So I've never really experienced nothing where, you know, where because of, you know, how I am, how I dress, how I look,
Right.
you know, my locks. That hasn't hindered me in musically or work related. I've never experienced anything like that before. So I give thanks for that.
That's beautiful. Yeah, well, that question actually comes from Costa Rica.
Okay.
Big up Fire Don out there.
Okay.
All right, because he wants to know basically how we welcome Rasta into our culture here and how we are. And you know, I've told him my views. So, you know, that was his question for you, basically, because down there now they're extremely accepting of Rasta faith and everything down there. In fact, there's like a nickname they call it, Costa Rasta down there right now.
Really?
And it's
Okay.
great. There's actually a store that just opened up now called, I think it's Costa Rasta.
That's blessed.
And yeah, I have my singer down there right now. I'm like, bring back stuff. Get endorsements, bring it back, because all my friends are going to wear that stuff for sure.
Yeah, you would
So-
never even think like places like that would love reggae music, even like New
Oh.
Zealand, Asia,
Yeah.
Japan. You know, there's so many places that just love reggae music on a whole. You
It
wouldn't even
is
believe.
universal.
Yeah.
Exactly. Even
Absolutely.
going into the Germany thing. Germany is probably one of the biggest places in
In the UK for sure.
Yeah, and they love it. And when I came across that, I was such a opposite, like, thought. Like, I never thought it would be so big there. And I remember, I think it was Tinga Stewart, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, started sending me crazy pictures of this show, and there's just thousands of people. And I said, wow. I'm like, where are you right now? Like this. He's like, that's Germany. I'm like, come on. And listen, they eat it up there. Germany is massive. So
It's true.
where are some places that you would, on your bucket list, that you would love to perform at? If you could, like, take 3 places on earth that you would love to stand up and show everyone what you have.
Wow. Well, I definitely would love to go to the motherland. And I'd love to go to Africa. I'd love to perform in Ethiopia. That's like, you know, a dream of mine.
Now, big up everybody out there. We got a lot of people
Yes.
tuning in from Gambia right now, and Ghana, and Zambia, everywhere. So,
My daughter's in the building. She said Hollywood.
hey, I think you want to go to
I
Hollywood.
think you want to go to
You wanna
Hollywood.
go to- who you, Nickel Empress, who you want to meet in Hollywood? Why you want to go there? You have somebody you like in Hollywood? TV stars? Who's your favorite TV star?
Zendaya. Okay.
All right. Well, Mama, we have a project now.
We do. She
Ladies
does
and
the-
gentlemen, let's get Empress Divine to Hollywood.
Yes, let's
We've
do
never
that.
attempted it, but
No, but it can
do
happen. It can
Let's do
happen.
it. We have little TV stars to hook up with down
Exactly.
there. So. All
Exactly.
right. So, moving forward with this similar question, wait, we only got one now.
Yes, there's
All
one.
right.
Yeah. So Africa, I want to go to the UK. Yes, that's another place because reggae is so big. I'd love to go to the UK. You know, I'd love to. Well, I've been to the States already. I've done a couple performances in the States.
Okay.
So that's a place I've already touched. But Africa, UK, where else did I want to go?
Have you done any shows in Jamaica yet?
Well, it's funny you should say that. Attempted to.
Okay. Okay.
Attempted to, but it didn't work out. But that's definitely a place that I'd love to perform in Jamaica for sure.
Okay. Well, we
Most definitely.
definitely have to look forward to that. I think they would love you definitely on stage down there. Absolutely.
I think so too.
You have such a presence that isn't from here, from there. It's almost you have a universal presence.
Give thanks.
That's what I'm definitely drawn to.
Yes.
In the States, where was it that you performed in the States?
I performed in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, and
Yes.
what was the reception like there?
It was really good.
Yeah?
They have me out there as the female sizzler.
Oh, what? Yeah?
That's like, thanks.
That's wicked. The female
man.
sizzler.
The female
I like that.
sizzler. I
Let
like
me-
that too.
Let me hear your best grimy voice. Give me some sizzler.
Some sizzler?
Give me some
Let's
sizzler.
hear. What can I give you? Oh my gosh. What can I give you
We're gonna have
from
to
Sizzler
hotbox
right
the
now?
room to get that voice right.
What sizzler can I give you?
We'll come back to it. Don't worry, we'll think about it.
Words of divine, to all my empress right away. Tell us to be kind and never go astray. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Words of divine.
Kaya Sislaita. Nice, Sislaita. Yes, Costa Rica, we got Sislaita. Bring
In
it
the
down. Bring it
building.
down. Beautiful. All right, so sticking with the three. What are three goals that you have, let's say, in the next 10 years?
In the next 10 years. Well, that's
Well,
a
I like to
long
say
time
3
from now.
years, but we don't want to overdo the 3. So
Well, 3 years would be more. I think it would be, but over the 10 years, Well, right now, I can tell you right now, I need to release an album. That's what I'm working on doing right now. I want to release an album. You know, I need to put out a music video.
Yes.
There's so much things I need to do to enhance my career right now. It's not even, it's crazy right now. So there's so much that needs to be done.
right.
You know what I mean? So
You're working on something right now.
I
you were
am.
mentioning.
I am.
Tell us about that.
yeah, so I have a song that's going to be soon. It's soon going to be released, like very soon. About Mother's Day, I'm going to release it. It's a song about my mother. It's called Mama, and it's on the Consequence label.
Okay.
Yes, so Consequence is a a producer that I've been working with in Jamaica. He produced the Tropical House Rhythm,
Right.
and I did my song Natty Half a Grow on that. So then we want to do something again together, and I like working with him because it's worth.
The music sounds amazing. So
absolutely amazing.
don't fix what's not broken. Right?
Exactly,
So
exactly.
That's beautiful.
And
So-
when I heard that rhythm that he sent to me, I was like, that song, like I said, rhythms speak to you, and it's like what type of vibe you want to put when you hear a song, So that song, Mama, yeah, definitely spoke to me.
what a perfect day to drop it too, eh? That's gonna be
Yes.
big. So
It
I
is.
think your mom's gonna love that, right?
Well, you know what? She actually passed away. She passed away a long time ago, so it's a dedication to her.
I knew that, but I still feel she's gonna love it. You know
Yeah,
what I
she
mean?
will.
So
She will.
that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
She will.
So moving forward, what are some goals that you want to accomplish? Just like I know we said the 3 or the 10-year goals, right?
Yes.
So what are some things you want to do within the next year? We have the album,
Yes,
Right.
definitely releasing the album.
and you want to look towards
I want to do
video.
yes, and I want to look towards a video and and possibly do some touring.
And where do you want to start?
I want to start right here.
Good.
I want to start right here in my hometown. Show Toronto some love and different provinces within Canada. I want to do a Canadian tour, and then I definitely want to go to Jamaica because you don't know if you don't go to Jamaica and Boston or Jamaica, and not really Boston nowhere else.
Okay.
So I definitely want to go to Jamaica and work on my career down there as well
Put it
and tour
back.
and yeah, man.
Beautiful, beautiful. So here's a off question now. All
Okay.
right. So name me. Now this is coming from Brazil, so it's not my fault. It's not
Okay.
my fault.
Okay.
What are your 3 favorite foods?
Ackee and saltfish,
All right.
fried snapper,
Okay.
yes,
Nice.
and ital stew,
Okay.
yes.
There you go. Everybody happy you got your weird question in? All
Yes.
right. Okay. So, what is something that you could tell somebody who is just starting out right now as an artist? What are some advice you can give to build that artist or give them some warnings about direction?
give them some warnings about direction. Just, be mindful of the people that you work with. Make sure that they're in it to help you to see you rise, rather than just in it for themselves. Definitely to believe in yourself and just know that anything that you put your mind to, you can definitely achieve. Set goals for yourself, set standards for yourself. Just be you. And anything that you do, don't try and be anybody else. Just be yourself. And to me, that will speak volumes. So that would be a message that I would give to any upcoming artists, just to be themselves and just let that light from within shine bright.
Beautiful. Absolutely. That's great advice. Have you going through your career so far, what are some of the obstacles that you've found that has been the struggle to get where you're at right now?
A struggle? Well, earlier when I started my musical career, I had different little struggles, people not taking me serious or working on projects and they're not being put out because, like I said, they're not into, it's like they weren't in it to help me to, get my music out there. They were just looking for what they can get from me, like on a personal level, you know what I mean? So those are a lot of things as a female to look out for. When you're dealing with producers, just make sure that they're dealing with you on a business level. Never mix business with pleasure. You know what I mean? Just that's a one obstacle that I've had because it's like I'm here, I'm in the studio, I'm voicing songs, and I'm trying to get my music out there, but you're looking for something else, and then nothing comes of it because the music doesn't get produced because I'm not getting what you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's been an obstacle. But I've overcome it, obviously, right? So
yeah, it's a shame when people are like that too, because there's so many amazing things that can be done, and you kind of spoil in the pot for everybody.
Exactly, it's like a crab in a barrel mentality.
It's true, and I gotta admit, I've even had seen it myself, where I've needed certain things done or projects, and I've reached out to, let's say, some female singers. I said, I would love it if you came in an audition and what have you, and they're like, can we meet in public or something, or can I bring people with me or this? I'm like, yeah, that's never a problem. You can bring people here, and then finding out later that they've had such a rough time just being in the studio. You know what I mean? Because it's like women seem to not get that rating when they come in some studios, and it's kind of like, I'm a do this favor for you and let you record something as long as me and you are good outside music.
Exactly. And it can't work like that. If it's business, it's business. If it's pleasure, it's pleasure. And I mean, don't mix the two.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not gonna work.
You don't see the guys going through that business, you know what I mean, that problem.
It's true.
And to me, exactly how you said, I never mix the two because, let's say I have an amazing artist like you come through, and who knows, the future can be amazing, like people got to get this. You can have an amazing future with somebody. There's a million women out there. If you have an artist in there, just work with the artist.
Sure.
Do that. If you got a problem, you can't control yourself. Well, I think there's a back page somewhere. You could just go scroll through and
exactly.
just get your situation out. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, boy. So, like, some of the artists that you mentioned that you look up to, right? You had mentioned. Who are some people that you would like to do? Have you ever thought about, like, doing some duets with people?
Most definitely. I would like to do, a duet with Neto Youth.
Who's that?
Someone very special to me.
Yeah.
I would like to
artist?
do. Say it again.
He's an artist.
Yes, he is an artist.
Okay.
Yes, a very good one as well.
Okay.
And I'd also like to work with. I'd like to work with Lauryn Hill, because, like I said, she's one of my favorite artists. I would love to work with Lauryn Hill.
I don't know if Lauryn Hill came in here. I might have to take back that whole thing I just said about leave women alone. I don't know. We have something for Lauryn for a long time, so I don't know. I have to bite my words there for a second, but
yes.
All right, so
and love to work with Sizzla. I would love to work with Sizzla. Yes.
They'd love that in Brooklyn, wouldn't they?
They did. They would.
The man Sizzla and the woman Sizzla.
Exactly. Come together and be like, wow.
That's awesome. You know what I love too is that when you do your stuff too, you do a lot of work with Tasha Roses too.
I do.
I did mean to mention that earlier.
Yes.
In this whole like women powerful women in Toronto that even have female selectors, which is incredible.
For sure. We're trying to start a movement here. Like, I've known Tasha Roses for years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, some people don't know. I've known her for like over 15 years. And,
Right.
you know, we've been sisterins ever since then. So it's a blessing that, you know, we can come together and unite and keep our birthday parties together because we're just, 6 days apart?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a
Okay.
blessing. Yeah. So look out for that this November. Late November, early December, we're gonna have another Girls in Reggae show coming to you. So Soul Kitchen, ready up yourself. You don't know a promotion.
All right. Yo,
After
I'm
that,
telling you, the last one was fun, man. The last one was fun. It's good. I gotta come earlier though, get some of that food though, man.
That's true.
I came
the
like
food was
too
good.
late.
The food was
Couldn't
very good.
find
Harlem.
parking. Parking, I don't know.
That's the thing. So we're gonna see what we can do about the venue because I know some people were complaining about the parking. So we'll definitely work on that for y'all this year.
Okay, that sounds great. That sounds great. So, what is something that you would just like people to know about you as an artist? That like, what is your theme? What is your theme? Who is Empress Divine? Where does that name come from? How do you want people to view you and to understand your message?
Well, I'm a soulful songstress, a daughter of the Most High. You know what I mean? Where that name came from?
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny because, you know, on my way down here, my daughter was actually asking me that question.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, she was, so
okay.
it's funny. I traveled back and forth to New York.
That's
very
your manager,
often.
isn't it, by the way?
Yeah, it's my little
I'm starting to
PR.
feel like your daughter's your manager. We're going to Hollywood, and I need to get into this name with you, mother.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she's always on me.
That's
Mommy,
good.
I want to go to Hollywood. I want you to start singing some different things, man, so we can go to Hollywood.
She want to do she want you to do a duet with Bieber. I'm telling you right now. There you go.
But,
That'll be different.
But yeah, so how I got that name now is I was traveling back and forth with my sister and Marjorie, and also so when we got to New York, you know, we're walking up and down the streets of Brooklyn, and then this guy was like, "Hey, what up, shorty? What's your name? How you doing?" And I'm
Okay.
like, "My name's so and so." I'm like, "How you doing? You all right?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "So what's your name?" He's like, "Divine." I'm like, "Your name's Divine?" He's like, "Yeah, but baby, you Divine." And I'm like, "You know what? You're right. I am Divine." And that's how Empress Divine came about because you know, trying to live it to your Rastafari, don't know some Empress already. Someone just bring the two together, Empress Divine,
Yes.
and then later on Atras.
Right. What's with that? I know some people because I just called you right out when I posted the social media. Miss
Yeah.
Hot Ross herself. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, is it Hot Ross or is it Empress Divine? So please
Well, it's
explain
both.
me out.
It's both. You know what I mean? It's just another name I got from people out that road too. I didn't actually give myself the name Hot Ross. It's
Yes.
just from, you know, the way I am, the way I dress, the way I bring myself. People are just like, you know, you're Rasta Empress, but you're hot at the same time. Because I don't want people to feel like just because, you know, I'm a Rasta woman, I know you have to dress a certain way, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you can have fun with the way that you're dressing. I don't believe that I have to wear a long skirt every single day. Like I used to be like that, but then I came to the realization that, you know, it's all about rendering your heart, not your garment. You can have a lot of people that have your skirt carrying on the ground, dragging behind them, and their heart's not clean.
Right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
right.
So at the end of the day, I have to be who I am. I can't live to please people. So, you know what I mean? The way I dress, you know, I'm a shine hat, like for shine to stand out.
You have
I don't
some
see-
unique clothes too, you know.
Thank you very much. I don't see anything wrong with that. You know what I mean? So
when I see you on stage, I see you have some like really, really wild outfits, eh?
thank you.
I like
well, I
that.
hope it's wild in a good way.
It is, no, it is. No. You know what? You never ever address anything but respectful, but it's still like sexy and wild and fun. You know what I mean? So
even as a Rasta woman, we can still be sexy. You know what I mean? Why can't we be sexy? We are sexy.
I'm pretty sure.
You know?
I'm pretty sure one of the shots of you and I, Stitchy was like, "Who made her jacket?" I'm like, "Relax yourself." He's like, "Me like a jacket. Find out who made her jacket." So, yeah, man, you got some big people watching you there.
That's
so.
good. We'll give thanks. But
Absolutely.
yeah, you know, as a Rasta woman, we can still carry ourselves a certain way, but we can still, you know, we can step out. So because of that, because of the way I dress, you know, I like to shine, I like to look good. You know, people say you're hot, so I'm gonna say, you know what, hot Ras.
All right. So, what are some people? How can people get in touch with you out there right now that are watching this and say when they're about to see you, you're going to sing a few songs for us shortly.
For sure.
And when they see that, they're going to go rush and try to figure out how to get in touch with you. So what are some ways?
Definitely on my Instagram, Empress So Divine, with underscores in between. We'll just say it that way. All right, so Empress So Divine. On Instagram, you can also hit me up on my Facebook, Empress Divine Music. You can email me at empresseternalsound@hotmail.com. And those are the platforms where you can reach me.
You just hit something that I
You didn't
almost
touch.
skipped over.
Okay.
Eternal Sound.
Eternal Sound, yes.
Get into that. You're also a selector.
I am also a selector. I could play music too.
That's crazy. That's
Yes,
crazy.
it
So,
is. Give
so
thanks.
how did that, like, how did you become, because you actually have like a sound now, right?
Yeah, I do. I need to get it back on the road. But yeah, I can play. Actually, you know what? Come check me out, y'all. I'm going to be at Harlem. All right, on Queen Street on May 22nd. I'm going to be playing vinyl.
Oh, what?
Yes, with Noble Works. So if you want to hear me live and direct, come out and hear me spin some music because I got some old foundation.
No. Wait. You're not going to play your dad's vinyl, are you?
I am going to go play a dance vinyl. I'm going to bring my records and my crates.
Don't mess it up, eh?
Yes.
Don't mess it up.
I won't.
Take care of those, man. Take care of those. I'm coming to go through that collection. I'll say you can't play this one, you can't play this one, and we're just gonna lockbox it.
I have a lot of foundation. People don't even know. Like I have a lot of foundation music. Like I said, I've been collecting vinyl. I've been collecting vinyl for a long time. Many years, and I have an uncle that's also a lover of music, and he collects music as well. And he's given me like a lot of his. My uncle George, he gave me like a lot of his Bob Marley albums and
Nice.
stuff like that. And I used to go down to Treasure Isle on Saturdays and, on the weekend
man.
and go and purchase, 45s
Love
and stuff
that
from
place.
Natty B,
I think Soul Vibes had a little shop down there too for a minute, right?
Soul Vibes?
Yeah, Soul Vibes.
Across the street?
Yeah.
Yeah. Across
Yeah.
the street there, yeah.
But,
So I've been collecting vinyl for so many years. Before, all the CDs came and then the Serato came and kind of blew out everything. I've been a lover of vinyl from
Well,
them times till now.
as you can see, we don't have any controllers here. We have some turntables and what have
I
you.
see that. I see that.
We do vinyl here,
No.
so I think we're going to have to invite you back on the DJ night
Yes.
and see what you got to share with everybody.
For
you
sure,
know.
for
I
sure.
love that. So what is your flavor when it comes to playing? You were saying is the foundation.
Yeah, foundation. Yeah, definitely the foundation is what I used to collect. But you know what? The whole thing is, when I first started out, me and my sister and Marjorie, we started out playing ragga jungle music.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have a lot of ragga jungle.
Really?
I played jungle music. I used to play it like enough of those
man.
raves downtown.
I have not heard some good jungle music in a minute.
Yes, I used to love
it.
because them times we used to party with a brother named Demolition Man. You know what I mean? And we used to go out. We used to go out and go to all those different jungle raves and stuff like that. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
That's massive in
So,
Europe.
It is. It's very,
Still,
very,
like,
very,
it's
very big in
crazy.
Europe for sure.
I know. I think it was my very first artist that did a little tour, opened up for Reel to Reel. Remember?
Okay.
Right? That
Yeah.
I like to move it.
Yes.
Now it's in cartoons or something. But no, man, they went through like all these jungle clubs in England and stuff, and
Yes.
it was like massive. I thought, are you sure this is a good move? And then he's sending pictures back. I'm going, what's going on? I'm like, there's so much out there in the world. It's crazy.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
It's
So
true.
would love to get into there and crack into that.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
how do you how do you balance between, you're obviously a parent here, right?
I am a
And
mother. Yes,
mother,
working.
You're a singer. You're in the
Yes.
studio there, and then you're DJing too,
Yes.
which is wild. So like,
It is.
how do you decide which path to pursue heavier?
Wow, see, that's the thing. Because I'm versatile like that, it's like sometimes it's hard to do both at the same time. So it's like sometimes I'll focus on one and then put on that one there and then focus on the next one, then go back to
Okay.
that. It's like I go back and forth. You know what I mean? That's kind of hard. But it's what hinders the music, and I'll just say straight up, is because, living in foreign, we have a 9-to-5 job. We have to work in order to survive here.
yes.
So I just want to say shout out and big up all the people that want to work and do music on a full-time basis. I commend you. Hats off to you. All right. For me, like right now, it doesn't permit it. You know what I mean? For me to do music on a full-time basis. I hope to, that's actually one of my goals. When you ask me what are one of my goals within the next
Yes.
3 years, the next 10 years, I want to be doing music on a full-time basis. I want to do what I love on a
Right.
full-time basis. That's definitely a goal and a passion that I have, for the next upcoming years.
It's so difficult.
It really is.
It really is, and I know there's so many people. We like I said there, and I'll just say it again to everybody out there. We have 11 different countries right now rebroadcasting this.
Okay.
And let alone everybody on the Facebook Live and all
What up,
that.
Lulu?
And,
Chatta, big up yourself. Empress
like-
Harmony. Jen.
with
Neto. Sorry.
big up everybody. There's that Neto name again. Don't make me bring him on the show.
He'll be here
July 7th.
July 7th.
Hey, we got a date. We got a date. Plug.
Yeah.
But all right. Where was I going with this? You're so fun. Where was I going with this?
I lost it.
I was asking a good question.
You were. We're talking about doing music on a full-time basis.
So a lot of people around the world,